Omar Isov here, and in today's video I'm answering your questions again from the Facebook fan page. All your fitness and health related questions, some of your personal questions. I'm not going to answer those. But I pulled together the best ones, the ones that were most retard proof, and I'm going to answer them in a clear, concise way. So let's stop yapping, let's get right down to the nitty gritty. Yo, Omar! What's up, man? How do you know how much of each macro is right for you? Is it largely trial and error? This is a good question. He's mainly referring to the energy macro. So we're talking about carbohydrates and fat. What ratios should you have of both? And anyone that says there is some sort of golden ratio that works for everyone is lying. What you'll notice with time, there's certain individuals, those with better genetics, that can handle more carbohydrates in their total diet. And so when they are dieting or when they're on a lean mass phase, they can consume more. If on the other hand you find for yourself that it doesn't work right for you, you accumulate too much fat, you have to tweak it slowly over time. And like I said, if we compare, let's use two YouTubers. You know, Matt Ogus consumes a lot more carbohydrates. Chris Lovato was on those poverty macros where he's consuming fewer and more fat relative to Matt Ogus. It depends upon the person. It's something that over time, as your body develops, you'll notice changes. And what I will say, as you build more muscle, as you do more activity, the split between the two will favor carbohydrates. So if, let's say it's kind of like this, over time as you build muscle and as you become fitter, you'll notice that you'll probably use more carbohydrates, need more carbohydrates. Can you please give me tips for gaining strength in the bottom position of the military press? Well, man, you asked so nicely, you got it. The hardest part of the overhead press is from here, the shoulder shelf, to above the head, from here to here. And the way to develop strength from that is working on that patterning. So what I'd recommend is the Bradford press, an exercise developed specifically for that purpose. I'm going to link it in the description how to do it, but essentially you bring it up above the head, behind your head, back down, and over again. The Bradford press works specifically on that pattern. And what you essentially have to learn how to do is properly coordinate your traps and your deltoids firing at the same time. So the Bradford press will help you out. Is Body Fortress Whey Isolate a good protein or is it bad? I'm not sure about this I don't even know this brand, but what I will say is the following. When looking for a protein powder, a lot of people will go for flavor, but I got three key factors when looking for a protein powder, and they're the following. One, how does it react to your body? If you're getting stanky protein farts, son, it's not right for you. That's why I use a cross-flow microfiltrated whey isolate. Sits easy on my stomach. Two, what percentage of that protein powder is actually fucking protein? I mean, if you look at the breakdown, if it's a 30-gram serving size, but only has 24 grams of protein per serving, that means there's 6 grams of other baloney. Carbohydrates, fat, artificial sweeteners, whatever the fuck. You're paying not for the pure protein. So I like pure protein. The last one then has to do with price. For what you're getting, is it worth it? So those are the three factors I like to look into. What I do personally, I get pure protein that fits right for my stomach, and it's also a good price. And they're going to say, oh, where do you get that? I'm like, well, motherfucker, are you going to endorse me yet? Omar, best assistance exercise for building a bigger bench press. Damn. I'm going to say the floor press. The reason why, it takes away the leg drive, which is technique based and something you can work on, and it focuses on explosive strength from the bottom position. So you rest at the bottom, which is the hardest part. From here to here, pretty much, is the hardest for most people. The lockout isn't nearly as troublesome. So the floor press, for most individuals, I found for myself, really helps to change the bench press, increase your strength on it dramatically. One of the most serious questions. Do you think that bodybuilding is the main block for building that athletic, aesthetic body that you always preach about? And should beginners start from this angle and not actually emphasize the athletic part and do that later? Wrong! It's actually the complete opposite. Let's break down why. When we talk about athletics, you're constantly doing certain movements, right? You're learning to fire your fast twitch muscle fibers when you're doing sprinting, jumping, playing activities. You're developing a better kinesthetic awareness, how you utilize your body. When you take an athlete and then you allow them to start weight training, so their goal is now hypertrophy, to build muscle, you'll notice they're able to lift more weight faster and build muscle quicker. Why? Because they're used to using their body. They have that efficient neuromuscular patterning. So, what I would say, my young Padawan, because it ain't sexy to say, yeah, go and sprint and do jumps. Is you gotta do both, right? The foundation is actually on athletic performance that will then help with your strength and building that muscle. There's a reason why sprinters, and it's not just, genetics and the steroids that they take, why they have fantastic physiques despite not weight training a lot. To phrase it another way, someone that is excellent at jumping will be a pretty good sprinter, and at the very least, a solid squatter. The inverse is not true. If you're a fat fuck that can squat 500 pounds, it don't mean that you can sprint, and it don't mean that you can jump, and it don't mean that you're lean. Should I inject human growth hormone into my left nut? Well, only the left, but yeah, you for sure get it, do it, and let me know how it treats you. Send me an email after you do it. What is your favorite exercise to strengthen the lower back when deadlifting? I find I can lift way more when I have a rounded back like a cat than I can while arching. You know, there's a lot of different ones. That's actually pretty normal, the concept that you can lift more weight when you have a little bit of thoracic rounding. What I would recommend in order to build that tightness, that arch, the number one assistance exercise would be the good morning. The reason why, because the loading is up here, it forces you to retain that tight arch. And what you'll notice is from working on this too, the same mechanism of keeping that tight arch, when you move on to the deadlift, it'll feel a lot easier to not be pulled from the tight arch into that rounded position. So I'll say the good morning. Yo, Omar, I want to be coached by you, man. Do you have an online PT service? Yeah, I actually do. It's pretty much always full. I don't even advertise it in the description because there is a waiting list. However, I will link it in the description below. Now, for those interested, because I'm always looking for fantastic clients, people that are hungry for change and willing to put in that fucking work. I answered a lot of questions. That's all I'm going to answer for today, keeping this video fresh and entertaining. So I want to thank you for making it through the video and watching this whole damn thing. If you liked it, show your support and like this video. Not a subscriber? Well, you better make a good life choice. Subscribe to this channel. A lot of killer content. All you guys, my zealous army that are already subscribed, I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Take care of yourself.